All right, so we are going to work on this right here. It's an isometric currently, and we're just going to work on setting it up to be a 1 point and then a 2 point. And I'll do my best. A big part of this is just worrying about your proportions, which I admittedly am terrible at. So let's see if we can make this work. So I'm going to start with our 1 point. Uh, I only have a pencil, so you're probably not going to get the best. Let's see if I can get the light on here a little nicer. You're probably not going to get the best view. No, don't want that. Okay, we'll take it like this. Um, so you want to try to really work on getting the proportion right. And there's two ways to go about this. You can do the big box method, where you make the big box that would all fit in, which in this case would be 1, 2 by 1, 2, 3, and then we have to kind of approximate the two deep. Or you can go one at a time. We'll do big box method just because I'm feeling that way, and I'll make each box worth two. So I'm just gonna start out by doing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a little extra there. That's fine. And then how big is it? It's 3 across, so that'd be 6. So I can get a nice true view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can get a nice true view on this front view. I can go straight to an object line. I don't really have to focus on doing construction lines or anything too heavily here. And I make my vanishing point. And you can kind of just lightly, see how they come up on the camera, lightly add your construction lines in. Nothing crazy. I might actually come back at the end and see if I can darken this in with something. Let's see what I got lying around. I got a pen. I got a blue pen. But this will give you a chance to catch up. I got some colored pencils. I can probably do something creative. So I start with my box. And then, the depth is kind of like the same as the height. So I don't want it to be too deep, but I don't want it to be not deep enough. So I'm gonna take kind of a stab at that. And we may change that, but I'm gonna come in first, and I'm just gonna darken in that first square. This is a certainty right here. I can make this an object line. So this, I know, this that's set. And that I can, bring my construction lines back. So that's kind of a certainty in itself. Now, where it gets is this too far back looking at this? And I think it might be. And like I said, proportion's the hardest thing to get, because this is really important, trying to get this all right at the beginning. So I'm going to just change this out. I'm going to see how this is going to look. Making sure we're parallel here. Trying to keep my hands out of the way. Because I also am going to have to, basically off of this one, have a lot of stuff going on right there. And down in the middle here, between these two, I've got a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. So like, if I approximate the middle between those two as right here, and the middle between these two is right here, I got a lot of stuff going on there, because that is going to be about where my object is going to hit. So this would be like the front face. And then I got to ask, like, is this looking too big, too deep compared to what this box is? And I think it does. Like I said, proportions are really important. So I'm just going to go back to kind of a more small box method of making this look Nope, not big enough. Move back a little more. And really all we're trying to do is making the proportion of the box seem right. That's too much, this was too little, so right in the middle. That's probably perfect. So knowing this, I can come in, I can darken this, and this kind of gives me the first part of it. And I know that this line right here is going to go over. Nice construction line. And same thing with this. I know both of these lines are going to go over. This line's going to hit right here. And it is going to go straight up. Until it hits there. And then it's going to go to the vanishing point. So this is kind of my second real strong box I have. So I've got this now. So I've got here, I've got here, I've got here. I just got to add that top box. I know one of my edges for the top box is going to go here. One of it's going to go here. And I know the back corner of it is right here. So the back corner, if we're going up, is going to have to do with this edge as well. I know this is going to come over. See, and now that looks too deep. So all of this back here is too deep. So I want to shrink this. Remember, I'm trying to keep my proportions right. It's not deep enough. So I want it to still look like I have my boxes. So that's this box finished. I can bring that line up. And between this line and this line, I can figure out where the back of my box is. I just have to figure out how tall making this one look with that kind of one true front view is going to look. And since I did 2 here, I'm going to do 2 here again. And kind of, I'm going to just quickly run it to see, does this look good? That's what I'm going to ask myself. Does that look good, or does it look too tall? I think it's probably a hair taller than I'd like. So I'm just going to take a little off the top. And I'm going to go from right here. Clean that up, because now I know I got a horizontal line going right here. That connects to the vertical line right here. This will go to the vanishing point. And then this is just a horizontal line connecting. Then you go in, and among the many construction lines we have, we can start cleaning this up. So that gives us a 1-point perspective of this sketch right here. And you know, a lot of what I did is I'm just trying to figure out the proportions right. There are people who can do this like that, and they'll have the proportions already visible in their mind. I have never been very good at that, but I can tell after I draw it, so it's a little trial and error. So that's one, and I will make another video for the 2-point practice.